So I didn't get too many reactions from my last video, so I've basically been working on Zirkuluak myself just to try and make it work for me rather than try and make it work for other people. And I thought I'd just let you know how it was progressing to see if you have any feedback or ideas or if it's helpful to you in any way at all. This is the design I'm currently using for the Filofax personal page size, and the Zirkuluak itself, which is this, has changed because I've added a new circle here in the middle, and I use this to show an all-day event. So I colour it in just on the outside if it's an event that occurs during the day, which doesn't take all of your attention, such as somebody's birthday. Or I fill it in completely if it's something that is going to occupy your day completely, such as a training day or a travelling day or a holiday day. Otherwise, the graphic itself is unchanged since the last version that I had. The page layout, of course, has changed a lot. I've gone rather over the top on checkboxes and ways of showing on what day you are on. I have this perforated section, which isn't perforated, of course, it's just printed where it can be cut to show to cut the corner off. One of my first planners I ever had these perforated corners, and I very much like them. So you can cut along here to easily show where you are on the day. I also included a checkbox where you can check that the day is completed. I don't use that. I'll come back to this arrow in a moment. On here, on the actual time bit, I've reduced the time slightly. You can write in before 7, you can write in after 8 to reflect what's on the Zirkuluak times. But I generally don't use that too much, so I've reduced it between 7 and 8, 7 in the morning, 8 at night. Again, you have a straightened Zirkuluak diagram here to fill in if you want to. I have a section here to show when something's completed. I don't use it myself, I'll probably remove it. I did a little bit of a nice thing here to show the clock as well. Again, I personally don't use it, so it's just there ready for decoration. Then otherwise it's just the normal page, and on the back of those pages I have again something generic, because when you're printing it you don't want something which will be invalid if it misses a pages. So if you're printing a whole year off and then it skips a page and you have to reprint everything all over again because of the date on the back. So this is generic, there's no date. The only thing that I know some of these planners have things like number of bottles of water somebody has drunk or whatever, some strange things to me. Now what's important for me, apart from having a scribble pad here for notes, is what the temperature and what the weather was. I'm not very happy with these icons, but these are just here to as an experiment to see if that works for me. Now, what I found over the years, one of the reasons I had problems with Filofax to start with, is I've realized that if it's not in front of me, if I can't see the whole thing all at once, I tend to miss things going on. So with a Filofax, of course, you have things in different sections. So you need to go from section to section to know this is my calendar, this is my list, these are my tasks, this is my address list, and so on. And for me, that doesn't really work. If I can't have an overview of everything that's happening, I tend to miss things. And that's why I don't have one Filofax, but I have two. And this one is used for notes and information, and it uses a very heavily edited version of the bullet journal, but that's something for another occasion. So this is my attempt, or this is my experimental diary using the Zirkuluak system. Now I'm going to come on to this in a minute, but one of the reasons that I never used before week overviews or month overviews is because they're in a different part of the diary from the day. I never looked at them. So I tried to resolve this problem, and I designed this. Now this simply gives a Zirkuluak for each day of the week, of the current week. And by simply shading in when something has to happen, this allows me to see at the same time as I'm looking at my page, which covers this area, something that's going on. I don't have to know what's going on, I just have to know that something is going to go on, so that I can actually turn to that page and look at it. I know that something's happening. Again, I've got checkboxes to show the day is completed. This is actually the only one I use, so I don't use all the other ones I've got at the moment. And on the back of this, again, same design, but this has an additional box because here I write the week and the year, and I'll show you why. So, this in use looks something like this. Because the week page is wider than the day page, I can see not only my page per day, I can see my week overview at the same time. So I can see what's gone on and what is going to go on. I can see that on Friday, which is today actually, that I have a fixed appointment at a particular time. These other shadings are the times that my restaurant was open on those days, and also I will fill in obviously for the future days. And this also explains what this arrow is. So on the Monday the arrow is here, on the Tuesday the arrow is here, on Wednesday the arrow is here, and so on, and it simply allows me very quickly to see this is today and this is what's coming up. You'll see I don't use colours. I use two colours. I use red and I use black. I don't see the need to fill things up with different colours. I just want things to stand out. I will probably change this particular arrow to red to make it stand out more, but at the moment this is working for me reasonably well. It'll probably be altered, but we'll see. So that's my current attempt at designing a new planning system for my Filofax. If you have any comments, please let me know. I'll be glad to hear them.